It's called Advanced Answering Techniques. So it is 3 professional people explaining to other people how to answer different questions, a multiple variety of questions. Advanced Answering Techniques.
Hello and welcome to Advanced Answering Techniques. I'm your host, Josh. I'm joined by Caleb.
Hi.
And Gabe.
Hi.
We're here to answer questions that users send us. And we answer those questions. What would be, how do you guys think of the
Aplomb.
With aplomb?
With aplomb.
Yep.
Now, where do we get this plum?
And where can we get more?
Oh.
I want a plum tree.
Oh, we're very demure.
Demure.
Okay.
That's the new word on the internet. So,
Oh, demure.
yeah, everybody likes saying it.
That's the new word on the internet.
That's apparently that's
When did this come in?
just last week. Yeah. Yeah, they updated the internet. New word. Yep.
Dictionary
It's true. You
Plus.
should, if you don't have it yet, if you don't have demure yet, you should
Yeah.
update your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So what exactly does that mean?
What do you mean, update your phone?
I know what the context. No.
Oh, demure.
What that means.
It's like, is there an
I know the
element of like,
context in which you'd say it about like a woman. She
Or,
was
yeah.
demure,
Mhm.
and like it would be like in a noir novel. They might say
sure,
that.
yeah,
Quite
you know.
demure.
But I don't
demure.
know what the word means.
It's
really.
it's less
Yeah.
playful than coy, but I feel like there's a similar attitude.
A certain
Like she's-
coquettish something.
Yes.
And that's another word that makes me think of just a certain kind of context. I don't know
Oh,
what the word
I
means.
thought you were going to
Yeah.
say soda.
Oh no, not. I was thinking of a yard game. Really.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about little croquettes.
Coquette. When
Little
you're out there playing
sandwiches.
coquette. With the wickets.
Yes. Oh, and I would. Ooh, and if I was hanging out with Wicket, I would be a little coquettish.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be your attitude towards towards Wicket.
So not really the mothering thing that Leia takes on.
No, I'd
with
be
the
sort
Ewok
of
Wicket.
flirting with Wicket.
Oh.
Guys, I wish we had time to explore that. It's a rich vein. But we don't. We've got to get to our question.
Yeah.
Hey, this is your friend Isaac. I have a question for you guys. I could use some help. So, been living in New York City for a while now, and I was biking home from work late at night recently, and in the middle of the street there was a clearly very dirty, unhoused woman in a wheelchair, wheeling around and shouting in the center of the street. And when I biked by, she grabbed me on my bike and started screaming at me, "Will you babysit me? Will you babysit me?" And I did not babysit her, but I did bike away and yell very loudly and very quickly. So my question for you guys is, how old is too old to need a babysitter?
That is a question from
The Big
our
Apple.
friend. Isn't it? Don't you guys feel so impressed that someone who lives in New York City is
wow.
listening
I
to
know.
Us.
our little old podcast?
Our little country podcast.
it's grown
We're a bunch of
up.
country mice, and there's a city mouse listening to our podcast.
City
Yeah,
Mouse.
City Mouse got an iPod.
That city mouse has an iPod.
Yeah, you think he'd just only listen to like cassettes and stuff because that's what's cool.
Yeah.
We should start releasing our podcast on cassette.
On cassette.
Yeah. I
Worth
found
the trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Well, and the warmth of the sound is. just
Saturation
totally-
that you get on tape.
people
Yeah.
would listen for that alone,
Right.
Despite the content, just the warmth.
Yeah. Oh, the podcast isn't funny, but it sounds so.
Sounds so warm.
They bump up the gain so it hits the tape and you get
Oh,
that
yeah.
compression,
Yeah.
slight distortion, but excellent saturation.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is interesting, man. Someone, I wonder, he could tell that she was clearly dirty.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He said, really want to hone in on that,
Right.
and I wonder how, because she's in a chair, a wheelchair.
Probably
So
a
you're not
full
even
moon.
seeing- maybe a
Yeah.
full moon.
Yeah. Sounds like
Lots
full
of.
moon.
I hear they have. Go ahead.
Sorry, sounds like full moon behavior. If you ask me.
yeah. Or and also, but I hear this city has
Street
big
lights?
lights. Yeah.
I know. I'm just thinking about the line of that their moon.
Just so you know, because we are country mice
Yeah.
who would expect to not be able to see things at night. Very
We don't
clearly.
need-
unless there's a full moon.
Full moon.
Right.
They don't need a full moon. It's a city of lights, city that never sleeps even.
Right.
Sure.
So yeah, and so that is tricky because you are going to need babysitters more if you don't ever sleep.
Well, if your children are never sleeping.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Because sometimes sleep can kind of be your babysitter.
Yes.
That's at least the way that
Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway and his wife thought of it.
Right.
When
Yes.
They lived in France, so they left their baby in the crib.
And certainly if you
With a cat, not a mouse.
yeah.
Hopefully
With
not a mouse, just a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what Tom and Jerry running around with a sleeping baby.
No.
That's no babysitting. And in the Softy Brothers film,
Oh yeah.
Daddy Longlegs,
Yep.
famously sleep is used to great effect as a babysitter.
Yeah, I guess it would be, in that case, is it the sleep or the thing that causes the sleep?
Yeah.
It is the babysitter.
Well, I think the thing that causes the sleep is the money that you are paying the babysitter. And sleep itself is the babysitter.
It's still the babysitter. It's
Yeah.
kind of what's sitting on the kid is
Yeah.
sleep itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. So, but what was the exact...
Now that that's all cleared up.
Now that we cleared that up, now and we can go back. Structurally, I think it's fine if it's a little bit nonlinear. People are used to that, but because I did want to make sure that we don't forget to inquire exactly what the question at the end was,
Yeah.
because I was not sure. What was
it was how old is too old to be the babysitter?
to be the babysitter?
And I
Okay.
was like, so
oh, really?
is he
I was
just
confused.
Yeah.
now thinking about like, would I leave my child with, a great grandparent or
Right.
something like that? Someone who's like
That's
well
funny because
advanced in
that's,
years.
that's
Let's,
sort of
let's
not
listen
the
to the
question.
very end again.
How old is too old to need a babysitter?
I think you're right.
So and
That's
We
interesting
can
because
answer
it
both.
seems like the question this begs is
yeah,
how old is too old to be babysat?
Yeah.
right.
But you
But
will.
the question he's asking is how old is too old to be the babysitter? Or, I mean, I guess the other question could be is how young is too young to be the babysitter?
Right.
If he's
Mhm.
babysitting an old woman.
Right.
Yeah. What is the correct age disparity
I mean,
in which direction?
yeah.
But
So does that mean how old is too old to be the babysitter? That could mean how old is too old for someone for you to be the babysitter.
Right.
Yeah.
how old is too old to be the babysitter of the old?
Yeah. Yeah.
It could be that too. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So
Really stumped us. on
it's
this
stumped
one.
us, but I think just to be safe, we'll kind of go with our shotgun approach.
Let's
Yeah.
answer
And-
all of them.
Well, and there
Just
is
get
a
it all.
question actually earlier. The question she asks him, which is, "Will you babysit me?"
Yeah.
So let's answer that first.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yes.
not. Definitely not.
You don't.
No?
He won't.
No.
No. Okay.
And I was also okay. This question made a question
Yeah.
for me, which is, he said he quickly yelled loudly.
Yeah.
What? What did he yell? What did he quickly yell loudly?
I think he might be acknowledging that it is a family podcast, and maybe
Oh.
words that shouldn't be used.
words
in
that shouldn't be repeated.
Yes.
Like
I'm just thinking what my reaction would be to riding my bike past somebody and them like somebody in a wheelchair and them grabbing me.
yeah. I mean,
While
I
I'm
would
doing that.
I would probably have
I
gone.
might react in some pretty
I
strong
would probably
ways.
have gone. Ew, gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yucky. You're dirty.
Ew. not good.
Yeah.
But-
I have a home.
One
No,
of the,
yeah.
one sort of an unstated question here is or an answer to an unstated question is, this woman, I think she needs a babysitter.
Oh, sure.
It's-
Definitely.
Yeah, she thinks so too.
I mean, I think she's on the right track.
yeah.
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 Yeah. And the track is in the middle of the road
Right.
in a wheelchair,
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
yelling out, "I need a babysitter.
People,
Will you babysit?"
will you
And,
babysit?
and
me?
really,
Kind of
it's-
panhandling for babysitting.
it could be for a babysitter for her, or if there are children in her care, those children should probably also
yeah.
be
Yeah,
babysitted.
Oh yeah, long time.
Yeah, long time.
They need a
I babysit long time.
kind of need a
$5 me babysit.
Yeah. That was the early version of
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, I mean, that's I've been in similar kinds of situations, not exactly, and not in the Big Apple, I must say, but in the small pair of Portland, Oregon,
Okay.
dealing with the unhoused at night.
Yeah.
And it is quite scary.
Mhm.
You don't really know what's about to happen, which makes it kind of fun too.
Yeah.
But
Right. You're truly
is-
living.
Is Portland a pear or is it a stump? Or maybe it's a little
it's a big log,
a
or sorry,
rose that hasn't bloomed yet.
a little tiny log.
Actually, it might be a rose that's wilting at this point.
Yeah, it's a rose where you can do anything and everything, and everyone's doing all of it.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yes.
that's beside the point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so that's tricky to be around these people, and I get it. If that's what he's saying, is he doesn't like it, doesn't like these people.
I don't think that's what he was saying. I do think that you get into, in a city context,
Yeah.
there's just so many more people there.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And especially for someone like me, it's pretty scary
Yeah.
Right.
to just go in the city and there to be so many people.
Right.
And
And
it's
you just
not-
don't know what any of them might
And
It's
that
do.
not
would
just
be-
more of the people that you know from where you lived and
Right.
grew up.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And I mean,
It's like
Right.
all different. There's all different kinds of people.
well, that's what I was
too.
going to say. If it was just more people, but they're all of like a certain level of, sanity,
Yeah.
then that's scary in its own right. Just
Sanity
the-
slash
yeah. Cleanliness.
affluence
Yeah. Sanity.
slash
Yeah.
cleanliness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's probably a correlation between those things, but
Yeah. Oh
But-
yeah. If you get poor enough, you get dirty, and that will make you crazy.
Right.
I hadn't put the causation quite in that order, but that makes sense.
But if you were just in a city with 12 million normal people, that would be scary enough. And then you add to it that maybe even just 1 million of those people are completely bonkers.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
things start to get
Yeah.
pretty freaky pretty quick.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
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 Well, that's I mean, good on him for getting away. Honestly.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, that's good.
But also pretty good on her for catching him.
Well, that's
she's
what
in a wheelchair. He's on a bike.
That's what I was
She
thinking.
caught him.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I feel that Isaac is playing it pretty fast and loose if there's a city street that he's riding in,
Mm-hmm.
and he's willing to kind of skirt the the edge of this woman's reach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm impressed with that. Again, when you're in the city, you feel alive, and so you might find new thrills,
Yeah.
new ways of getting a rush
Yeah. Not like here.
when you're commuting. No, not like here.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's pretty boring around here. No, filthy street person has tried to snatch me off of my bike or while I'm
No.
walking
No,
around.
no.
They're
I mean,
town.
sometimes one time I was walking late at night and a tumbleweed almost hit me.
Right.
Oh wow, yeah,
had to leap out of the way of. I mean, we've all been
yeah.
had narrow
I don't
misses
need
with a tumbleweed.
I don't need to talk
Probably
about
that same
with
tumbleweed
you.
in particular.
Yeah.
That one's
Oh,
a
man.
menace.
He keeps coming back.
Yeah,
It's like it's learning
yeah, right.
where to go.
Yeah, it has that. It has sort of the one the one branch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that one.
The
Yeah.
distinctive branch.
You're like, I think it's that tumbleweed.
Oh yeah, that one. And I mean, I've seen some of his buddies too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Sometimes
got a whole gang.
You'll see him go by,
Yeah.
and then a bunch of other
bunch of
ones.
them. It's kind of like I think of him as kind of like Stripe from Gremlins, and then,
Oh,
and then there's
yes.
some other
Right.
Yeah.
kind of no good tumbleweeds.
Oh, yeah.
following him around.
Mm-hmm.
And then but then there's the nice tumbleweeds.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the tumbleweed that runs the general store. There's the tumbleweed barber.
Right. Well, that's
Oh,
the thing
yeah.
is there are some gainfully employed
Absolutely.
tumbleweeds,
Oh,
and then
totally.
there are some of these like ne'er-do-well,
Oh, yeah.
loitering tumbleweeds.
I saw one of that big stripe tumbleweed.
Yeah.
He has a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carries a knife.
That's the branch you were talking about. That distinctive branch.
You see the branch, but then on the
Yeah.
branch, there is
Yeah.
a knife.
Knife. Old knife branch.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I
Calling it a
should've-
branch is kind of
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
is kind of like very, we're being very generous with the word branch.
It's not an organically
the
occurring.
metal sharp branch.
That is on me, because I guess when I saw it, the most striking thing to me about it was the branch, not the knife.
You'd seen the knife, but you were like, "Oh, but look at that branch!
That branch is holding the knife.
Wait a second. There's a tumbleweed with a knife. Wow. Okay, but what kind of a thing? How could a tumbleweed hold a knife?
A knife.
It would
take some kind of crazy branch.
So we do need to answer the question, and the question is some form of age and babysitting, right? Like how should these work together? You are too old to be babysat. Let's start with that one.
Okay.
What do you guys think? It's
all relative.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's like
so only if it's your grandmother,
all relative,
or grandfather, somebody who you're related to.
Oh, relations. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
all
it could be that.
Could be that.
Yeah.
One way I was thinking was like the age depends on who's being babysat, who's doing the babysitting. What age.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I see some kind of relationship that's based on how about you being blood relations.
That's something to consider, but I also think the reason because at a certain point, babysitting an adult, right, just becomes like in-home care.
Yes.
And that's like an occupation. That's a little bit different than maybe the short-term engagement of a babysitter.
Occupation, I see.
Well, no, but like it's a more regular, like you'd have a 30 hours a week sort of deal.
Yeah, but
with
there's a name for that. Like you said, in-home care. That's not babysitting.
Right.
So there has to be a day where now this is no longer babysitting.
Maybe it's 25 when you can rent a car.
Yeah.
You're no longer babysat. Rent a car without the young renter fee.
Yeah.
Because they do that sometimes.
Yeah, that's true. You can do that. I mean, I honestly think it should be 35. You could be president.
Okay. So if
once you can be president, you can't be babysat anymore.
Yeah.
Until
actually, I don't think you should be able to buy cigarettes until then.
You're 35.
Either.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say after 35, you're not allowed to buy cigarettes anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can buy them from 21 to 35, and then you have to stop.
And then you got to stop. Yeah. I mean, didn't we just have a president that was kind of getting babysat all the time? Or
yeah, it seems pretty recent.
Yeah.
In my memory.
Honestly, if you think of the Secret Service,
Yeah.
And like, if you think of people who are trying to kill the president as any
hazards in the home,
hazards in the home, or no good influences on the president.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
No, he's a great president. He's just fallen into kind of a bad crowd. This like whole globalist deep state thing. Kind of a bad crowd.
Yeah. Then the Secret Service, I mean, that's their job, is to kind of babysit him from bullets, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
And Bill Gates is coming over and trying to get him to smoke.
Yeah. Trying to get him to smoke / control the population through like pretty nefarious means.
Yeah. Bill Gates and George Soros are like, hey, have you tried this? Have you snuck a couple of your dad's beers? And who's the president's dad? Uncle Sam.
Okay.
Uncle Sam.
So that's so I think that's a pretty good answer for when you're the age 35 is when you could no longer be babysat.
Yeah.
You still might be receiving some kind of oversight or care.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's similar to babysitting, but it's no longer legitimate to call it babysitting.
It's the Secret
think
Service.
so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. In many cases, it's the Secret Service.
But also, I think does babysitting also, because to me it's like, oh, we're gonna go out and see a movie. We need a babysitter.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, is your dad? Are your parents going out to see a movie?
Uncle Sam's going out to see a movie.
And maybe I could babysit you. I'm also surprised Isaac didn't ask how much she was going to pay.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes
like,
you need to,
what the benefits might be.
He's in a hurry to get home. So he's busy, but maybe in the future, Isaac, it would be a good idea just to show a little curiosity.
Right.
Get some
Yeah.
details.
That's something that you can learn from country mice.
Okay.
We're very curious.
So I'll be getting
curious.
paid $8.50 an hour. Can I have snacks from the fridge?
Right.
How much TV can I watch?
Yep.
You
What's
know?
your fridge policy?
I would say one thing I am surprised that this is even a story for someone who lives in New York City. You know.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you don't believe that he lives in New York City?
It seems like maybe he doesn't.
Is he's just sitting there imagining what it's like?
I mean, it seems like he went there at least once,
glitz.
and this happened. I'm just saying this probably happens to people all the time.
Yeah.
Just
So
sitting
how is
there
this something to pick out and talk about? you know?
envisioning the glitz, the glamour, the getting grabbed by homeless people.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but we still have an important other half of the question to deal with,
Yeah.
which is when are you too old to babysit?
Yeah. 35.
Oh, and it's 35 too. Yeah.
Okay, so 35-year-olds have to be babysat by 35 and younger. Or sorry, you I don't know if I'm tracking.
Yeah.
Once
No,
you're
that's-
35, just stop doing anything to do with babysitting.
Right.
Okay. The babysitting chapter of my life
Right.
is over, and that's receiving babysitting and perpetrating babysitting.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That's my gut instinct is to just kind of repeat what we
Yeah.
already said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a situation where babysitting is happening. It's just two 34-year-olds hanging out.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're
it
kind of
sounds
Gabe and I
legit.
are kind of babysitting right now.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of like we're right in that zone.
Yeah, Josh
Yeah.
could not.
I'm way past it.
Josh is totally done babysitting.
You wouldn't
My-
understand.
You know.
You wouldn't understand, old
Josh,
man.
but Josh is in the Secret Service.
It is funny because I can't remember when my last babysitting job was, but it had to have been before I turned 35. So I think I think I did okay.
Got away from it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is. Yeah.
Is
I
there
was
legal-
hired. Were you ever hired as a young boy to babysit people?
I don't think so. I think I have one of those faces.
Gabe?
I wasn't either. But
I was. People would hire me to
I mean, I
babysit
did
their
it.
children.
I did it constantly
At home.
as the oldest,
Right.
and so
right.
I don't know. Maybe it may, but yeah, nobody was seeking me out. But people did seek you out.
It's weird because I don't.
Yeah.
I've like talking to other guys.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone else
Yeah,
who babysat
who
who
was
was
hired.
paid
yeah,
to babysit
Mm.
children, and it makes me kind of
Yeah.
feel like kind of like a girl.
yeah.
To
They're like, oh, he has a nurturing aspect.
I guess. I mean, I
Oh.
just had I
Yeah.
had my 3 younger brothers. So
Yeah.
I definitely know how to deal with boys.
Right.
yeah.
Just new, right, Gabe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had some pretty clear ideas of what you should do and what should be done.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people maybe saw me at the pool taking care of my little brothers, and were like,
Oh, they were able to.
this guy knows. None of he's 12 years old, and none of his brothers have drowned.
They're still alive. So
And so I don't know, but so I did babysit,
Yeah,
and I kind of have a feel for it.
Yeah.
I kind of know what it's like and what's important and what makes someone good at it.
Yeah.
And but like you say,
well,
you do it.
that's interesting because that must be what happened for Isaac.
Yeah.
okay.
Is this woman just saw
Natural
was like
babysitter.
Yeah. This guy looks like he could take care of me.
he's a baby.
God answered my prayers, and this man is biking up to me to babysit me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for listening. This has been Advanced Answering Techniques. And you can send us your questions, and we'll treat them just like this. That's advancedansweringtechniques@gmail.com. We're looking for an audio file of some kind, usually about a minute in length, but we're pretty flexible about that.
I'm an audiophile.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.